Well, ho, 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 and Merry Christmas. I'm glad you are joining me for another edition of We Need a Little Christmas. My name is LeeAnn and I'm going to take you on a journey learning about St. Nicholas. I want to share with you how we go from St. Nicholas, who looked like this, to what we know currently as Santa Claus. Well, the story begins back in Asia Minor, and what we know today is Turkey, in a small village called Patara. Around 280 AD, a wealthy older couple had a son that they named Nicholas. Because of their wealth, he was able to be educated and he traveled. His uncle was a priest and took to educating him. So again, he was able to travel to all these countries. Well, unfortunately, on one of his travels, his parents passed away due to a plague in his home city. And he was devastated by this, as you can imagine, and decided to give the rest of his life to the church. And because of the parents' wealth that was now his, he would wisely give to those in need. The holy man quickly rose in the Christian church as a deacon and then a priest by the age of 20. His strong Christian beliefs, along with his parents' wealth, allowed him opportunities to help all who were in need in his area. And by the age of 30, he became Bishop of Myra. Well, he had a youthful appearance and was known as the boy bishop. And so some legends have it, as kind of you can see in this picture, he grew kind of a beard to camouflage his youthfulness and give him a more older, wiser appearance. But as bishop, he earned a worldwide reputation of righter of wrongs, a protector of the innocent, and victor of people, which is actually what the name Nicholas means. And I shared with you in another episode about how we got stockings, and he met the needs of a family who had 3 daughters that needed a dowry, and he threw the little bags of gold in through the window and helped them. He was really big into the secret giving, and he taught that a lot and the blessings that come along with that. As a result, many learned of the joys of secret giving and not seeking personal recognition. Well, years later, Nicholas refused to recognize Emperor Diocletian as a god, and he was imprisoned. Now, legend has it that even during his imprisonment, he didn't hold anything against the guards and the jailers. He knew they were just doing their job, and that while he was in prison, he actually carved small toys for the jailers' children. So even incarcerated, he found a way to bless those. 5 years later, though, Constantine became emperor, and he released Nicholas. And Nicholas continued to defend the Christian faith and was later appointed by Constantine to be a delegate at the Council of Nicaea. And this is the council that debated the divinity of Christ. And they wrote the Nicene Creed. So St. Nicholas was part of that council. It was during this time that the church set the date of Christ's birth as December 25th to offset the pagan celebrations of winter solstice. Now, when Nicholas died, December 6, 343 AD, his fame spread far and wide, and his body was laid to rest in the church where he served in Myra. Stories of his saintly goodness were carried out by his followers throughout Asia Minor and rest of the known world. And he was soon called Saint Nicholas by those that heard of his generosity. Some citizens picked up where he left off, and they secretly began giving to the deepest needs of those who were hurting in their communities. And when people asked where did the gifts came from, the simple answer was St. Nicholas must have brought them. Sometimes giving was done on December 6th as a way to pay tribute to him. It's St. Nicholas Feast Day, and Feast Day is the day that you enter heaven. So that's what that was called, and celebrations of his feast day spread. And by the Middle Ages, the Bishop of Myra became patron saint of charitable fraternities of children. Wherever the story of St. Nicholas told, a spark of generosity was ignited within the hearts of the listeners, and many began to give in secret. The vast public appeal of the stories of St. Nicholas were largely religious, but they were brought to other countries, and mixed in were some of the traditions and cultures of other gods and goddesses and fables and fairy tales. So that's kind of where we're going to stop right now. So that's how it got started, and then next time we'll talk about and pick up from there and let you see how it transformed into Santa Claus. So for right now, Merry Christmas to you today and every day.